in. All right. Yeah. Great, fantastic, outstanding, just plain excellent day. And except for this allergies thing just seemed to want to sneak in here. I don't know where from, but hey, at least I don't have the sneezing, sneezing, sneezing. Say, yeah, we're on Reflections here with Doug Canton, and we've got Jared in the house with us here this morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good day, a great day. We're here, and that's all we need for it to be good and great, and otherwise, the place to be. And we're so glad to have you here with us also. So, we got our little thing here where you can connect to us on Facebook, on WSTX, and of course, we are on here online on YouTube. Okay, and let me just make sure that everything is happening here. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to go from our in-house mic. Okay, okay, good thing. So, taking it one day at a time. All right, because we gotta do we need to do like 3 or 4, but I ain't able. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what that thing is, Bamanku. Yeah. Let me take what I can handle one day at a time, and sometimes minute by minute. Who knows? Yeah. All right. Good thing. So at 9 o'clock, we're gonna have some folks in here with us talking about the energy fair that's coming up on the 20, and they'll be back again. This is coming up the I believe the end of October. We'll bring up the information in a minute. But the bottom line is that they're going to be in here, and we'll be talking about that. We got their information right here. But right now, I want to jump into the community calendar, which will take us by that also, so that we can at least, talk a little bit about all these great things that are going on in our community. Yeah. So, there are places online you could go to find out things piece by piece. Like, for instance, you could go to STX Happening on Facebook, and you find some things there. You could go to what's going on St. Croix, find some more things there. You go to what's going down Virgin Islands, find more things there. But here at WSTX, we aggregate stuff to make it easier for you, so you can have a place where you can find out what's going on in St. Croix in a more comprehensive way. All right. I look back here on my reflections here on Facebook, and I see 8 years ago we had Deanna James in here, and we're talking about the 25th anniversary of St. Croix Foundation. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah. Okay. It's nice to know time flies, and we can circle back around, and yeah, we can talk about those things. All right. So and Gerald, how was the ride this morning?
You really want to know? You have time
Yeah,
to talk
no,
about it?
I want to know. I want to know. Okay, this is a platform, we're here to talk about many different things. So, how was the ride this morning?
Well, the beginning I was not on the schedule.
Okay. I mean, you registered for it, but
Yes.
somehow or the other, it fell through the cracks.
Not on the schedule. I registered since Tuesday. I know the specific driver that picks me up in the morning. So I called him up, and he was like, "You going out today?" I said, "Yeah." "What's today?" "Today ain't all day." Like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what normally happens on Thursday?" He said, "Well, you go up tell you all. I said, yeah, tell me what's going on. So he said, you're not on my schedule this morning. So I was like, really? So I wait. He said, well, wait and see if someone will pick you up. So nobody picked me up, so I called the office. So one of the supervisors answered the phone. So he said, I told him, this is a recurring event that someone's supposed to pick me up at 6:30. He like, well, I don't really deal with that, but I'm gonna call a specific person that normally picks you up. So he called him and told him to pick me up. So when I get out of here at 10, I gotta call the office about what is going on, because I set my schedule permanent from Monday through Friday. So they're supposed to know when they're supposed to pick me up, and it's called a subscription. So if I can and I set my subscription to be picked up, I'm supposed to be picked up.
The common sense part of this is, right, unlike many people, you have this opportunity to sit in here every Thursday and talk about things going on in these here Virgin Islands, and including Vitran Plus / Vitran and everything else, and I'm just saying, it just goes without saying, why you gonna shoot yourself in the foot? Because if Vitran Plus doing something great, we're gonna talk about what they're doing great. But if they're not, we're gonna talk about that too. Not run it into the ground, but we're gonna talk about it. And I'm just saying, it's like, wow, some people just love pain or what?
No, I don't think it's that they like pain, but they have a lot of people that have jobs that should be sensitive to certain situations, and they don't have the sensitivity despite all the training. And these people need to be removed from these positions.
Okay. You say that's so calm and smooth and everything. Is like, wow. Okay, it's like this been happening so long. It's just like, boom, automatic canned response, because you don't even have to think about it. All right. Okay. Well,
I'm not nobody's not my blood pressure.
Well, but that's part of it too. That's an important part of it.
Right, but this is something that needs to be addressed.
So
I would be taking the necessary steps to address it.
okay, all right. Well, I am so glad to see that you have really become a proponent and advocate of the high road. All right. Okay, good thing. Okay. Okay. Yes, folks. So much going on. So let's do a little thing here and start talking about this community calendar of stuff we've got going on here. Just so thankful that the weather has been good to us. Yes, good to us. It looks like if we keep up like this, we're gonna have a fantastic World Food Day on October 23rd. Yeah, jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun here, because there's so much more going on. Okay, and yeah, there's so much going on. We had the excitement, if you want to call it excitement. Yes, I'm being I'm using the terms kind of humorously. Maybe some people might even say sarcastically. Okay, but not making fun of the situation that we're dealing with. We had the issues going on with regards to the schools. And yes, we're looking forward to the time where the transition from summer back into the full-time school will be, school session will be much more sustainable and less prone to interruption by things that have turned out to be predictable over the years. right? And it's just one of those things where I would much rather that we have a more copacetic and sustainable situation than to be able to complain or say things that people might consider beating up on or whatever. Because the bottom line is, it's all in our interest that these things work. And now that it's come to the attention the way it did, I'm looking to see what type of solutions we're going to start seeing. All right. Now, these days we're getting a little bit of rain every now and then. Okay. And the one thing that I want to say is that with rain, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get mosquitoes. You're going to get mosquitoes. All right. And I'm going to say this so you could do your research. Okay. The fact of the matter is, one dragonfly can eat hundreds of mosquitoes a day. Every once in a blue moon, I see a dragonfly around here. So we have them, and some people want to swat them, kill them, or whatever. And I'm saying, like, wait. The dragonfly is your friend. They don't bite. They don't interfere with us. They try to stay out of our way, but they eat the mosquitoes, the same mosquitoes that like to give us a hard time. So you do your research and you see what kind of plants you can keep around your yard that dragonflies like. So when those rains come, and you do your best to make sure you don't have no open containers in your yard for mosquitoes to hatch and breed and all this other stuff, and you do the best you can. But you can't speak for your neighbor or the people down the street and the wind that blow the mosquitoes into your yard where they find out that you have sweet blood. All right. There's some environmental cures and preventions that we can take advantage of, and this is one of them. Okay. So I won't belabor that. I won't belabor that any further. Okay. Let's look at some of the things that are going on. Of course, we know that festival is coming up, but we got time to talk about that. And for those of you who find that you like the homegrown eggs as opposed to going into the store, just know that you can call the folks at Farm Monbijou and order your eggs and get them straight from the local hens. All right, 340-332-4555. You can always go by the farmers market on Saturday or otherwise, and hey, that's great. But sometimes you get there and you find out that ain't got none. Yeah, so what you do, give the folks at Farm Bijou a call, 340-332-4555. Okay. And of course, Bush Cook, Chef Cook coming up. We're going to talk about that as we go down the road too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, did you business person go to business after hours last week down there at Victoria House? Yeah, I hope it was a good gathering. It was out of my range in terms of things that I had going on, but I hope that you took advantage of it in terms of networking and so forth and so on. All right, I want to give a quick reminder with regards to the cyclists on the road. Give them plenty of room. Be courteous. Be mind the rules of the road, because they have a right to be on the road just like you. And I got this notification here on Facebook that 2 people were almost killed in a hit-and-run accident when they were riding their bikes out there. Okay, and I heard that they had to be airlifted, so it was serious. Now, the car that hit them is identified as a Honda, and I don't know if that this car was actually found, a CRV. Now, if the car wasn't found, let me just say to you that it has the license plate number CHK 426. CHK 426. So, if the car hasn't been found and you know where this vehicle is, you know what you're supposed to do is let the folks at Public Safety, VIPD, know about it so that they can follow up accordingly. Now, I say this, it's no, in my mind, you can't miss these guys. They dress colorful and they're right there in the road, sharing the road with everybody else as they are entitled to. And when I see them, I give them plenty of room. Make sure that they're gonna be safe on the road. I used to ride bicycle up and down. I love riding bicycle. But these days, these guys out there riding all over St. Croix, speeding up and down, figuratively speaking. A bike can only go but so fast. Having good competitive fun and just recreation. And we need to look out for them because they're our neighbors. Okay, so a Honda CRV with license plate CHK 426. If you know where this vehicle is, please report it to VIPD so that they can follow up. I mean, when you think about it, you buy your child a bicycle and they out there riding on the road. It could be your child, could be your brother, sister, uncle, whoever, right? So let's definitely do the right thing. All right, good thing. And folks, if you know that the vehicle's been found, just give us a call and let us know. 340-773-0390 or 340-773-0490. All right. Now, last week on the 21st, there was a training for pesticide safety and pest management training. And I'm just mentioning that because, you know, a couple of years back, several years back, maybe more than several, we had that incident there on St. John that severely damaged the occupants because of the improper use of a certain pesticide. And we can't afford that type of thing to happen. And I'm glad to see that we have this type of training going on here and that it is available to the local businesses. Yep. So make sure that your people attend and pay attention. Don't just go to put down the name and say they were there. Because when you're dealing in pesticides, you're dealing with stuff that can kill and maim. All right. Yeah. Just a quick reminder that if you are someone who bid on projects with VI Housing Finance Authority, they've got an online portal, a procurement portal, and it makes things much faster. You can register in minutes, and when they have something out for bid, you can respond very quickly. So if you're in that kind of a business, make sure that you check it out. Okay. All right. Now we have the brunch and drag show that's coming up on the 23rd and the 24th. And I mention it here, you know, I don't know how many of you saw Miss Doubtfire or some of these, you know, when these type of TV programs and watch them and laugh and had a good time and everything. And now, you know, everybody trying to politicize or otherwise, culture war, this, that, and the other. Okay, but if you're not into all of that, you just want to have some good fun, just know that there are these characters, one called Liquor Minnie, another one called Penelope, and another one called Mercury Rising. Okay, and hey, they're out there to make you laugh and otherwise have a good time. All right, and this is going to be at Sandcastle on the beach. You have to make reservations. Okay, make reservations. Oh, okay. I'm I'm behind here. That was on the 23rd and the 24th. But the reason why I mention it in particular is that this culture wars thing that we have going on, there was a court case recently in Texas where basically the court ruled that the laws forbidding these type of things was unconstitutional. And the real issue that I want to put forward is we got a lot of bigger fish to fry. Okay, we had the students out there the other day, right? We got some bigger fish to fry. So, because somebody made an offhand comment on whatever, and I just ignore them. You know, I'm saying like it's like this. That book says, "Judge not lest ye be," and all this other good stuff. And it's like, hey, if this is how they have fun, let them have fun. Those who want to laugh, let them laugh and enjoy. Okay, all right. So just a quick reflection there. All right. Okay, so today at 12 noon to 1 o'clock, there's a virtual mental health discussion, and the theme of it is stigma and reshaping attitudes. And this is important thing. I once was in the presence of a young man who in conversation referred to somebody that was on the street as a bum. Okay, now I know the person, and I know that they have issues and struggles that they're dealing with. And what I said to that young person was, I said, no, you stop right there. You don't know what that person has been through. And I went on to explain, you could have mental health issues, you could have other things at work, homelessness, these things happen. And I said, you don't know what they have experienced in those shoes. And so step back and look at someone with compassion, and that they have real needs that maybe haven't been met in the past that has created this situation. It's important as adults when we see children going down that road, you know, the road that has taken them to bullying and sometimes being cruel to animals and all this other good stuff that can lead to worse things, that we do our part in terms of intervention when it comes to the formation of attitudes in these younger minds. Now, the challenge is that some of the elder minds also have stereotypes and ideas that we need to sometimes reflect on and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe we need to look at this differently. Well, mental health is something that we need to look at, take the stigma away, and get to the core issue and see what we as a community can do. Now, this is an online registration thing, so it's going to be on Zoom. The panelists are going to include Dr. Dara Hamilton, a clinical psychologist, our local and own, Kia Griffith, an artist, a survivor, and an advocate, Shanice T. Tricoci, a Connecticut psychotherapist. Yes, and the population that they're looking at, children, adolescents, teenagers, and adults. All right? In that Ms. Tricoci deals with. And Sherilyn Pogson, the president of NAMI St. Croix. All right? Now, it's important that we participate for and keep our minds open for developing our community and making sure that we can get as much as possible back to the village where we take care of our own. Now, I'm going to share a little story with you here. Call it a story, but it's part of our history. You see, because back in between 2000 and 2004, the elder the Shelterbrand facility in St. Thomas came into being and has since been expanded. And the next step was working toward a similar type of facility here in St. Croix with regards to care for persons with mental health issues. And for some reason, after 2004, the ball just dropped. And then with every election, all of a sudden, mental health became such a big issue on the campaign trail. And about 4 to 6 years ago, we had some senators take a stroll of the old YRC grounds in terms of setting up some type of mental health facility where they could use what was there in place. Well, you know, what I saw there and what I understood there in terms of what happened is that they were posturing as though they were going to do something, knowing full well that nothing was going to come out of it. All right? Because the attitude from the very beginning, and this is what we talk about stigma, the attitude was to take this facility that you could have fence up and put the people inside and check them off the street so they're not hanging around the places where tourists does be. I'm putting it that way. Like we don't be in these places too, right? So you see where the motivation was. That they catching heat from the business people, and they trying to make it look like, well, we're going to do something about it. Just make sure you go out and vote and give us a vote. And here we are, years later, and I'm watching to see because, you know, come November, we counting down another year toward another election. I want to see if we're going to even hear any talk about mental health facilities and services here on St. Croix in particular. I'm focusing on St. Croix. So, if you can attend this virtual mental health discussion, please do. The theme being stigma-reshaping attitude, okay? The Disability Rights Center of the Virgin Islands is hosting this virtual mental health discussion. And as I pointed out, they're having these various experts and survivors there in the conversation. So they're talking in a way that covers from the professional all the way to, hey, been there, done that, and I can speak with authority because of what I experience, meaning among the experts that they're going to have there. Yes. You know, it's something at this particular time I'm not going to make any jokes about it. This is serious business, folks. Okay? Serious business. And sometimes Doug will go on and on and on, and I wonder if he's stuck in gear or whatever. I want to call Bronco and get him checked out. Well, instead of doing that, see how you can get involved by attending these virtual mental health discussions, even if it's because you're looking for help for Doug. Okay? All right? Get involved in a proactive way. All right? Get out of this thing about thinking that somehow or the other you could just take people off the street and put them someplace. Now, I want folks to disabuse themselves of this idea that the hospital used to have a mental health facility of what we're talking about. No. Hospitals have a facility, can have a facility where a person can be for a limited period of time. I don't know if it's 72 or whatever it is, but a hold based on the fact that that person seems like they could harm themselves or somebody else based on whatever is going on. It's not a facility that someone can go and be there for 6 months, a year, or indefinitely. That's not what that is for. That's emergent care. We don't have any type of short range to medium range to long-term opportunities here. So ages ago, what we used to do, put them on a plane and send them to a place called St. Elizabeth in Washington, D.C. And you know what? St. Elizabeth shut down, and what happened to them? They send them right back. And since then, we have this thing of folks putting them on a plane to go to the other island, and somebody else putting them back on a plane to send them back to the other island, and back and forth and back. No. Let's get serious, okay? Yeah, Jared. I know you're laughing, but this is serious business.
No, it's just how you say it.
Just how I say it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a real fun.
Okay.
But it's serious.
It's serious business. Serious business. Anyhow.
But you know, there was a time they were sending them down from even the States during the winter.
That's what I'm saying. Not just the winter. When the folks there closed down at St. Elizabeth's, but I mean, I had a personal encounter with a gentleman who has become what folks would call a vagrant, a squatter in a place. And you walk by there and it's the stench and whatever, you know. I mean, it's like they're doing it right where they're asleep. And this person have issues. But you know what? We don't have facilities to address them. And the police can't put them in jail, which is what another thing we used to do. Treat them like criminals and put them in jail to get them off the street, especially with the pressure from the businesses trying to get them out of the community, all that stuff. You know? So the courts jump in and say, you can't do that. That's illegal. And if you do it, you're going to get fined. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. And so the police will tell you, well, you know, we could arrest them for what they do here, but they're going to be in. And next thing you know, they're going to be back out because we can't hold them in jail because they have a mental health issue. Now, yes, folks, taking some time and belaboring and talking about this is important. Do go on Facebook, and you could go to, definitely you'll see it there, where St. Croix happening, or Disability Rights website, or Disability Rights Facebook page. The bottom line is Disability Rights is hosting this, and that's today between the hour of 12 noon and 1 this afternoon. And there's a registration link so that you can join via Zoom and participate. Please do. After all, we're talking about taking care of our people. Dr. Dara Hamilton, clinical psychologist, will be on the panel. Kia Griffith, an artist, a survivor, and an advocate on the panel. Shanice T. Tricoci, a Connecticut psychotherapist, on the panel. Cheryl Pogson, president of NAMI St. Croix, on the panel. So, broad range of experience there to have a great discussion toward us making solutions. Okay? That's where I want you to look at it. Okay. All right, good thing. Now, Jared,
Yes, sir.
you know, one thing all children good for. All you gotta do is say play, and they're ready. You say homework, and it may not be. But if you say play, yes. And folks, on the 30th of September, we are celebrating Worldwide Day of Play with the Children's Museum at Fort Frederick. Yep. Okay, and since I still there in my first childhood, I still very much, acquainted with the context of play. I love to play. All right, good thing. So, folks, go on down and participate with the children. Yes. If you somehow have lost that touch, that spirit, let them reinvigorate you. Because when you see them having a good time like that, not a care in the world, except maybe for, I want to use that toy and I don't want to get it, you know. Give you a chance to mediate so we can peacefully navigate those kind of things, but have fun playing. Yes, folks, September 30th, Worldwide Day of Play. And it's going to be at the Fort Frederick with the Children's Museum of St. Croix. Yeah. Not sure, but I'm going to do my best to see you there.
What time?
Oh, yes. It is going to be, let me see, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you for reminding me about that. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. See, I'm so excited about this play. The child always in me coming out, right?
I tell you.
Okay, all right, good thing. Anyhow, I own it.
Own it.
I own it. Okay. And September 30th also later in the afternoon from evening 7 to 8 p.m. you have sandals, sunglasses, and sunset. This is an event between the Yvonne Ashley Gallagher YAG Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation and the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. Yes, at the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts in particular. All right. Sandals, sunglasses, and sunset. Yes. Join them, folks. This is all about fighting cancer, educating people about cancer, changing nutritional habits to thwart cancer, getting up off the couch and doing some exercise, hopefully fun things, you know. Okay. I can't even say it. I ain't able. But I'll tell you about it afterward, Jared. But getting up off the couch, folks, you know, as in walking, running, jogging, swimming, stuff that gets your cardio up. No, there's certain activities that will get your cardio up, but it isn't sustained. You know, in 5 minutes, it done. Okay, we're talking about that. That do not qualify. You know, get up and go walking afterward, or go jogging afterward, or whatever. Jerry, you all right over there,
I
Jerry?
try to keep a straight face.
Jared, why your face so crooked this morning, man? Gerard,
I know what I'm talking about.
Gerard, walking, running, jogging, swimming, okay? Things that you could do for 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour, all right? So, folks, the 5-minute thing them don't count, okay? All right? But all of these things are important, on a serious note. All these things are important. Nutrition, exercise, donating to make sure that organizations like the YAG Foundation can help folks to get mammograms. And Gerard, you notice I said folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Men, yes, folks with the XY chromosome, okay, you can get breast cancer too. It may not be as prevalent among men, but if you notice something strange going on in your chest, okay, all right, check it out. Now, of course, we ain't talk about prostate cancer, and I ain't gonna play Dobby song today. Dobby, I love you and everything else. Why ain't playing that song?
That was an interesting song.
Yes, how you check prostate, right?
Mhm.
Yes. But just folks remember that's Saturday the 30th of September. Sandals, sunglasses, and sunset at Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts. Make sure you support the fight against cancer, that we do our best to kick cancer out of tongue, all right? And also do the other important things like the exercise, the ones that count. Okay, no, you can do the other ones too, but you got to do the ones that count, okay? You got to make sure you stay on top of nutrition, okay? Folks, I got all kind of things I been introduced to as a child, as food, as delicacy, and everything else. But you know, I come to learn a lot of things, and I try to either go to moderation or total elimination when you realize the impact these things have. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good
So
thing.
my little one, she realizing the impact.
Realizing the impact. That's
Yeah.
right.
She's on a health binge right now. I was like, wow.
Well, you know, Gerald, as you mentioned that now, one of the things that I didn't talk about is family history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And family history is very important Because when you see things like diabetes or cancer or whatever in a certain type of reoccurrence in your family, or just the occurrence, because sometimes it'll be there sleeping, skip generations and then raise up and say, hello, I am in town.
Yeah.
Can I come and stay by you?
And then I come into dinner and I staying forever.
Yes. Anyhow, all right. So I see here it's now about 18 minutes before the hour of 9. So keeping moving right along here. I saw that for October 1, 2023, they're looking for a few good mothers. They say we are reclaiming our village. Yes. Okay. They're talking about a Million Mother March event and participation. St. Thomas, St. John's, St. Croix. And I saw this, folks. It is something you can register today at USVI Million Mother March 3 at eventbrite.com. Okay? USVI Million Mother March and the number 3 eventbrite.com. Okay? Glad to see the mothers get out there, but the reality is sometimes they got to grab the children by the ear. Okay, sometimes they have to get back to the good old-fashioned crucian licks. You know.
And that's what October 1st?
What October 1st? That's right. So
What?
they're trying to do something across the territory. Okay.
You know, October 1st is my grandson's birthday.
Yeah, you told me that before, and they coming, yeah.
It's coming. Yes, people, I'm a proud grandpa. A proud
Okay.
grandpa.
All right, okay,
Yeah, my little grandson making 2 years old.
okay, good thing. All right, and now I want to talk about this in particular. They got the film industry workforce training program that's now accepting applications. And I want to mention this because Cane Bay Films LLC is working together with Department of Labor to do this, and they're bringing in professionals from all over Hollywood, folks. Okay, and it's something that through workforce development is available to you free. October 2nd. Okay, and the application deadline, okay, is now is the September 27th, but I can tell you, if you're really interested like that, go to www.canebayfilms.com/apply and see if it's filled up, because one of the challenges we're having, folks, is that workforce development through Department of Labor in partnership with other businesses and professions, they're doing their darndest to make sure these training opportunities are there, so we have the people here to be trained and trained. Our challenge is our participation level, folks. Okay? We cannot complain about seeing strange faces coming here and getting jobs when we didn't go and sign up to get trained for free for the very same job. Okay, that's the reality. All right, so you can go online, www.canebayfilms, that's Cane, C-A-N-E, Bay, B-A-Y, films.com to apply. Okay, all right, so you have this guy who been doing his darndest to make sure that this type of information get out. Okay, you might know this guy, but he sent me this thing here for this webinar that's going to be on assistive technology and accessible transportation. Yes, and I'm going to say to you that the people who may not need assistive technology and accessible transportation modes are probably the ones who most need to go through this. Because who feels it knows it, you have to put yourself in a position to feel it. and know it and understand the need so that we can reduce the hostility toward public transportation that's accessible, toward businesses making it a norm to install doors that can open without you having to be Arnold Schwarzenegger in his young days. Okay? Well, we had a guy here, I don't know who might remember Mr. Heavy. we left the name Mr. Heavy. Okay? And folks, this is going to be going on online as a webinar so that you can participate. Now, if you have questions, they're even allowing you to submit your questions in advance, which is great because it facilitates the webinar so that they can address your concerns. And they have an email here, marty.xline, E-X-L-I-N-E, at ataporg.org. All right. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to put this on my Facebook page, Jared, because you shared it with me, and sometimes what happens is that we know about it, but these things that have in these links, people aren't going to get them unless there's somewhere online where they could find it easily. And if you want to participate and you need reasonable accommodation, you could also contact Jamie. That's jamie.anderson@ataporg.org. All right, this is what we've got to do, folks. Okay, it's about 11 minutes before the hour, and we're pushing right along here because we want folks to have access and accessibility working for us here in the Virgin Islands. You know what?
And what days is this?
This is Thursday, October 5th, from 2 to 4 p.m. I was getting ready to say, folks, talk to your senators. See which one will jump on legislation that will subsidize the installation of automatic opening doors for businesses. Okay? Or small businesses. However you want to call it. Okay? But the bottom line is some of these things are not going to happen unless there is some type of subsidizing that shows that the government is committed to accessibility. Okay? Jared, I had an acquaintance who was suffering from macular degeneration. And folks, macular degeneration is a deterioration of the cells in the back of your eye that help you to see. And as a result, this person needed a bigger screen so that they could do what you and I would do on a laptop screen. They need maybe a 20-inch or a 40-inch screen for productivity purposes.
Yeah.
And of all people, the HR director said to the person, well, me know how you gonna get that. You gotta figure out how they gonna get the money in the budget to do that for you. Okay? Because the HR director was hostile to this individual, so they wanted to spite the individual by not helping to find a reasonable accommodation. Okay?
Yeah.
And thank the creator that person retire and gone, because they had need to be gone before they retire. Okay? I'm just saying, man.
The HR person?
The HR director.
He retired?
It was not he.
Oh, she?
Yes.
So
okay.
So
all right.
So they retired.
Not that it's really important in that sense.
The
person retired.
They retired before they get about pistol.
No.
Someone
Actually, no. Well, we'll see. No, this is one of them situations where who you know and you get a job and you hook up.
No, I know what you mean. You
Okay.
got lots of that going around.
All right. And then until it came along that somebody else had more connections and whatever, and they said time for you to go home. I'm laughing, but it ain't
It
funny.
was a forcible retirement.
It ain't funny. It ain't funny. Okay, moving right along. Okay. I saw this here coming up from October 5th through October 8th. Okay, and this have to do with the VI Puerto Rico friendship. And October 5th, they have Old School Night with DJ Poppy Pops and DJ Ricky Sounds. And October 6th, they got an opening ceremony with Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights and the culture with cultural dancers. They're gonna have DJ Pura Mezcla and Liquid Sound Band. Latin Bad Boy BDC gonna be there. DG Band and Heart Attack International. That's on October 6th. And then on the 7th, they're gonna have Arroz con Pollo competition, my son.
Yeah, where this gonna be, buddy?
At the Agricultural Fairgrounds. Yes.
The
And
whole thing gonna be there?
all of these things gonna be there.
What?
Starting the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and we ain't reached to the 8th yet.
I need to rent a car.
You know? Arroz con Pollo competition, the man. DJ Felix, Unlimited Sounds, Express Band, live and direct from Puerto Rico, Judy Ramos y su orchestra. Yeah. And then October 8th, DJ 4T Iconics, ISB FT Toasty, Vio International. Okay. Feta Band, Big Daddy Chucha. All right. VIPR friendship coming down the road, folks. And of course, this one I've been talking about from way back in June, this 2023 St. Croix Cross Island Bicycle Race Challenge in support of the fight against cancer. Yes, you go, cyclists. The Cycling Federation is doing their thing, my son.
I need to buy a bike.
All right, so we got a call on line 2. So let me go to line 2 and bring in this caller. Good morning, WSTX.
Blessed good morning, Dougie.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you and your what's his name now?
Co-host?
Your co-host, sorry, your co-host. That's the word I'm trying to get. Your co-host.
Good morning, Don Tito.
Morning.
¿Cómo está la cosa? ¿Está bien?
You ain't got to show off or no?
Yeah, no man, I good man, everything good. I just want to say good morning to both of you and to the Virgin Islands. And so we have the monument for our local heroes yet?
I don't know, I ain't see it.
No?
Doug, we have it?
I thought Dougie done had things in the making going on, man.
Hey, well, you know, the bottom line is we ain't got enough. We got where people put up things honoring people and other people come and take it down.
Oh yeah.
You know,
well,
and still can't.
I want to recommend we take down the honoring of the pioneer of slavery.
You know,
I want to recommend that because a lot of people call themselves Boricua, but yet still they honoring the pioneer of slavery. You know, it can't happen. It can't work. And we need the monument to our local heroes. Dougie, I'm gonna call you back.
Okay, well, actually, I got some people coming in on the hour. Okay. All right. Good thing. So, Don Tito, yes. And I'm going to give a shout out to our friend Kier. God, know he'll be listening from all the way over there in Texas. Okay? Yes, yes.
He, right? I had to give him some instructions to fix his phone yesterday.
Yeah, I hear you talking to him, man. I hear you talking to
he
him.
was calling me.
That might be he there right there, no?
No.
That's him?
No, that's not
Okay.
he.
All right.
That's,
Now, so we reach up to the 6th to the 8th that they're having this Cycling Federation competition going on. And before that we talked about the week of activities there for the VI Puerto Rico friendship. Okay. So now we coming up on something on the 13th. getting close to the 13th. Anyhow, let me shut that down real quick here and come back to it in a minute. Yeah, we got something here going on the 13th that is special to me, but more special to others. So we gonna get to that in a second here. But I hear Gerard, you got people out there that need a shout out to get well soon. So I want to give the shout out to get well soon, so they could be back on the road and make sure that come the 13th that they're going to be able to be out there with us. But anyhow, moving right along, since we almost up to the corner here. Okay, we have Shapes Revealed by Tony Vanderperk, which is going to be from October 6th, from 5 to 8 p.m. at Studio Walsh. Yes, folks, it's art sculpting, you name it. Studio Walsh, another one of the great venues that we have for local art and visiting artists also. Okay. Of course, World Food Day is going to be going on Sunday the 15th. And yes, Sunday the 15th is officially White Cane Safety Day. But our activities for White Cane Safety Day are going to be on the Friday the 13th, yes, at 10 a.m. in Frederickstead, down at the Bell Tower. Okay? Clock Tower, yes. I'm thinking about the bell ringing, the clock chiming. Okay, but let me just turn this on here and see if the Jumbi them walking with us today here. Let me see. Okay. Okay.
Jumbi is alive and well. Thought you killed it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you know, I can't tell you what's going on there, but we're gonna give it one more try here and see. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on.
The cell phone mics are on.
No, that we need them to be on. It's just that the audio isn't going through here, and it should be in that context. But hey, we'll get that figured out in a minute and come back to it. The bottom line, folks, is that at the clock tower on Friday, the St. Croix Lions Club and the Virgin Islands Association for Independent Living are going to be hosting, yes, the White Cane Safety Day starting at 10 a.m. and they're inviting you to join them for the activities. They're going to have presentations there at the Eliza McBean Clock Tower area on the use of the white cane. They're going to have an appreciation walk with the blind on the streets of Frederickstead. So, folks, mark your calendar, Friday, October 13th, 2023. We'll see you there. And we want to give a shout out to the folks at VIA who are helping to get the word out. Maybe you've seen the advertisement on cable. Yes, come on out. It's going to be interesting. And for all those politicians that have not been to this event, you are cordially invited. And you're also invited to put on a blindfold if you need one. Okay? Okay? Because we want to make sure we can truly be in a situation with the blind leading the blind. Now, if you don't need the blindfold for them to do that, that's your business. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. And but the reason why we did that, we are having I was trying to make sure that the sound, but it wasn't working. But anyhow, we're gonna be talking about that some more when we come back. We got some callers coming in. Okay.
AM 970 WSTX.
Now that summer is over and children are heading back to school, drivers need to use extra caution.
Oliver Exterminating
Reminds you to stop for school buses that are loading and unloading students.
When you have
Obey all school zone speed limits and crossing guards. Watch for school
You're
buses.
using that?
The PC,
Be
okay,
on the
the
lookout
ox.
for children darting
This is
out
the
into
ox
the
over
street.
here.
And
The ox
remember,
over there,
if
yeah.
you're driving your own children to school or anywhere, make sure that everyone buckles up. It saves lives. This message is brought to you by
Oliver Exterminating. Located Peters Rest, St. Croix. Call 340-773-1630 for more information.
Expecting these people to call in here to be on the show. The same person that called in is supposed to be 9 o'clock.
Are you or a
The
loved
same
one
person what?
living with
The
sickle
person that
cell
called in
disease?
earlier?
The Virgin
Yes.
Islands Department of Health encourages you to live well by remembering these important tips. Get regular checkups with a qualified medical professional. Prevent infections because
that would have been
common
something that
illnesses like
came
the
on.
flu can be very dangerous
By
for a person with
accident, I
sickle cell
grabbed,
disease.
instead of
Taking your annual flu
Reflections,
shot
I
and
grabbed
washing your hands
Redfield and
frequently.
Hansen.
Oh, shucks.
By staying hydrated.
I was like, oh, hold on.
Get support and always
Okay,
see a
that
doctor
would've
or
been a
visit the
surprise.
ER if you
That would've been
experience
so
breathing, chest pain, sudden vision problems,
No,
severe
no,
headache,
no,
seizure,
no,
or pain
no.
anywhere in the body that will not go away with treatment.
Okay, so what do we have before that?
AM 970 WSTX.
Your husband feeling really happy today.
Okay,
Okay,
here we go. And your mic is on and this and that.
okay, all right, good deal. The St. Croix Lions Club and the Virgin Islands Association for Independent Living invite you to join them for their annual White Cane Safety Day activities, Friday, October 13, 2023 at 10 a.m. at the Eliza McBean Clock Tower in Frederickston. There will be presentations on the history and use of the white cane and an appreciation walk with the blind on the streets of Frederickston. Mark your calendar, Friday, October 13 at 10 a.m. See you there. Yeah, folks. See you there. All right. Okay. Yes. Again, a shout out to the folks at VIA for helping us to get the word out on cable about that event. So come on out and check it out. Now, it's just past the hour of 9, and I have the folks for Caribbean Green Technology Center and the VI Energy Office are putting on the second annual Energy Fair, and I'm expecting some folks from the Caribbean Green Technology Center and the VI Energy Office to be joining us, because the fair is going to be October 28th in St. Thomas, UVI Sports and Fitness Center. The theme is Accelerating Resilience in the VI. Okay, and this is important. If you look around these days, Jared, I know you've been seeing all of these Lexus, Mercedes, Audis running around here on St. Croix, right? And that's fine. If that's the model, make a car you like, that's fine. I don't begrudge you. I ain't judging you or anything. Okay. What I'm saying though is that people put $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 into a car that in one second could be total, but you still have to pay for it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow they're resisting putting $10,000 or $20,000 into the house that they own to make sure that if WAPA go off, if we have a hurricane and pulls down electricity down, that they can run their refrigerator, run their fan, or otherwise maybe even have a small ice maker in your house so that you can be doing the things that you need to do. All right? So, folks, this second annual energy fair is not about going through the motions just to have an energy fair. It's about the process of learning how we can be more resilient now. I remember that 3 months with a WAPA. Okay?
You remember it?
I remember it like it was too recent.
I forgot about it. Right?
You forget about it, you see? 'Cause I know you.
You
Folks, this boy ain't got one generator, you know, he got 2.
3.
3, okay, see, all right, I learned to count. 3 of them, okay? And he also got his inverter and battery system to make sure that he could have fan running through the night with no noise in his head. Okay? All right, we got an incoming call here on line
It's
1.
called being innovative.
Yes, most definitely. Good morning.
Like to be on the air.
Oh yeah, you are on the air. The Canton here with you.
Good morning, Dougie. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, but it's got to be like really, really quick because I'm expecting the folks for the second annual energy fair to be calling in.
So this energy fair, what is it about?
Well, all things energy, but the theme is accelerating resilience in the VI. Okay, the great threat to our islands is the belief that someone else will save us. That's a subtext under it.
Well, Dougie, I, along with your colleague, brother, have submitted a solution. I keep trying to figure out if we have a community problem and the elected officials can't come up with a solution, but people within the community who have worked in this field comes up with a solution and submits it to the officials, why is it that they're dragging their feet?
Well, I don't know. I ain't waiting on them. You know, I put in my net metering, getting ready to expand that. Let me answer your question, man. Let me answer your question.
Oh, sorry.
Right. No, I'm saying in that sense because we the people need to look about our business because, in many ways, government just ain't up to some things. Okay, for instance, government has been pushing WAPA from a monopolistic and uncaring perspective for so many years. So why should they all of a sudden see it our way as far as what we need? Okay, that's my pessimistic way of looking at the government for stepping in. Now, the fact that you guys are coming up with your solution, I hope that you will be a part of this fair, even impromptu. Okay, they're going to be having a round table there, and it would be great. Okay, if Lionel or some of them other guys could be there to become a part of it. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so you're saying they're gonna call into the program, or are they coming into the studio?
No, they should be calling into the program. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me get out the line so that the lines will be free.
Oh.
And I'll listen, and maybe they will be able to take a couple calls after they do their presentation.
Right. Anyhow, let me give you the website. Okay.
Wait 1 second. Let me get that 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, www.cgtc. Yeah, Charlie Golf, Texas Charlie. Okay, -usvi.org.
Texas Charlie.
No. Okay, so that's cgtc-usvi.org. Okay. All right. Good thing. I mean, it would be great. Yes, it would be great if Lionel and you guys could, get in there and make a presentation.
Lionel, we talking about Lionel Eddie for WAPA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, because I know he been working on something there. We busy putting out fire, and we need to be harnessing the sources of energy that causing a fire. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
We gonna
Sounds
talk.
good.
Okay
Take care,
then.
Doug.
Take care.
Uh-huh.
All right. Yes. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. They jumped the gun and they called 8 o'clock. They were supposed to call at 9. Okay. And so I'm here, ready, waiting for them. And let me see. Okay. And in fact, I asked them to come in now, and I want them to come in again a couple of days before the energy. The annual energy fair. I'm planning to go. Okay, that's the word on the street right now. Okay, Doug planning to go.
Yeah, school chair and MC.
The school chair and MC. Okay, and the school chair and them well vocal these days, so it looked like Doug going. All right, and the line two. Okay, good day. Let's see what we got here. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Doggy.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. This is Hobson. I would just like to send out an announcement to all the presidents, vice presidents, and individual members of the unions in St. Croix. Having a meeting this afternoon at 5:30. The place is located by Castle Coakley, between Quality Park and Mentor Sandwich down the alley.
Oh.
The reason for that meeting is trying to get the Central Labor Council up and running the way it ought to be.
Good thing. Good thing. Yep. Strength and unity.
Yeah, well, it's really that is true, but our people don't like to come out to meet. I've been trying to get a meeting so long, but you need to get new officers, and we need to be more active than we are. The Central Labor Council is the one that picks up this sale for the different unions and take their concern to government or the private sector.
That's right.
Whichever one that it thinks so.
All
We are
right.
not truly active as we ought to be. I am the acting president, so I'm appealing to all local unions, both private and government. Please make an effort to come this afternoon, 5:30. The area is by Quality at a part between there and Mentor.
That's right. Because together we can make things happen.
Yes, I will like them because we up for election officers and things like that, so we know what we are doing.
All
So
right.
we need to get somebody to run the GRA board for the working government people.
Yes.
We have a gentleman on the board there, and it's for over 28 years since Governor Snyder. He went on representing the active. He's still there representing the active. He's a retiree, so over 28 years. And I even thought he might have had several, but that's what I done with it.
Yes. Well, you know, it's more important than the lottery. You can't win for your people if you don't play. Okay?
Yes.
You got to get involved.
Mine, he ain't violating the law because the bylaws we have to serve till we get a successor. But I'm saying I will actually come out so that somebody will have to don't pick up the mantle or it'll be staying like that.
All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. So repeat the time and place again.
5:30 this afternoon, Thursday this afternoon, 5:30. The place is by Mentor, between Mentor and Quality Park Sale. Come down the alley. There was a police station down there at one time.
Right. Right across from Sire Farm. Okay. Good thing.
So before you leave, just let them repeat it for me again, please.
All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right, doggy.
All right. All the best.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, folks. That's how we get it done. Sitting at home and complaining, don't do a thing. You gotta get out and put it in gear and make things happen. All right. So, okay. So, in the meantime, in the meantime, you know, folks, somebody was asking me about the solar panels on the pole, and they thought that the solar panels on the pole would keep the street light on when WAPA was out. Okay? And folks, this is how it works, right? WAPA allowed people to do their own solar up to a certain amount that would be complementary to WAPA. But over a certain amount, it would actually cause WAPA to become inefficient in, you know, financially. So somebody get a contract to put up them panels that you used to see on the pole. But what we don't know is that putting up them panels on the pole was also cutting back on what was available to households to be able to put up because of the cap. All right? So those things do not keep street lights on. Those things are just like another form of generation, except that like just like the solar farm they have out there, except that it's panels spread all over the island at the time. Okay, it's you know, it's not necessarily a bad idea. The thing is that when you do it in a way that takes away from the capacity that the public could benefit from by participating in net metering, then it becomes problematic from my perspective. Okay, but Gerard, how you learn about using an inverter and a battery to be able to have your fan going overnight and keep you cool? How you came to learn about that?
Okay, well, this is going way back. As you know, I was an exterminator, and I ended up in situations where I had to go in these out-of-the-way houses to do termite work, and there was no electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to come up with a way to be able to use my Milwaukee hammer drill
Mm-hmm.
to do my drilling into the walls to inject the product. And I'm like, okay, I already have the groundhog trencher, I had this, I had that, all my equipment. Now to add another load of equipment onto the vehicle, which would have been a generator, right? So I said, you know something, being that I had a background with electronics already, being an electrician, I said, let me try this. It was a 1500 watt inverter. It peaks at about 25,100 watts. So I tried that, connected to my truck battery, and it ran the equipment, the electrical equipment. I just ran an extension cord from the inverter from the truck to where I was working. I just left the truck running and I did all my drilling and everything. And, you know, when after I lost my sight and we had this hurricane, I did not have a generator. So I said, you know, I wasn't expecting to see the devastation the next morning. So I said, you know something? The next morning I was like, okay, well, I need something to charge my phone. I need, you know, have somebody staying with me. They need a light, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I have this inverter in a box. Let me go and get it. And then I took the car battery out of the car that's in the driveway. I started using that. And I got my neighbor, Louis, God rest his soul, now he passed away, to charge the battery for me during the day. And I would have the battery charge and run the battery all night to facilitate different stuff like charging my phone, charging my reader from the library, you know, stuff like that. So at least it kept me going until I got the generator. So that was basically the history of how I got into using an inverter. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
out of necessity.
Yeah. Well, I am glad to have you tell that story because the theme the theme is resilience. Okay, accelerating resilience in the VI,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes the simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here you are, you got a wire that run out to the or better yet to when you have to take the inverter with you, all you need is an extension card
Yeah.
from the go inside while the vehicle outside they're producing your electricity and you
Yes.
walk in,
Mm-hmm.
and out of that you saw the opportunity to turn it into something of a personal benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, as a personal benefit, and hey, this is how you do it. And folks, I want you to think about what he said there, because you could have an inverter for the battery, and your vehicle could also solve in the process if the battery is being charged back up through some other vehicle, but other means. But in the meantime, you have to get something done. You can hook it up to your vehicle, start up your vehicle, and you got your power. Now, some of these vehicles today have a setup already with their own inverter built in.
Built in, yes. In the cargo area.
In the cargo area or whatever, and you just plug in up to a certain amount of load.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It comes about 400 watts.
Yeah. So just to say, folks, it can make a difference. Now, you have a particular need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when we start talking about insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about your need. Okay, so people will understand what I'm alluding to.
Okay, well, I use insulin and I need
A refrigerator to keep my insulin cool. We have, well, I have a small under-the-counter refrigerator that can work with the inverter as well to keep my insulin cool. So even though I'm not running the generator, I can use the inverter on the refrigerator to keep stuff cool.
Okay.
So but it only works with one of those small refrigerators.
Yeah. No, the big refrigerators is just too much load unless you have a full-blown solar system that producing that kind of power.
Well, there is a 5K inverter that can run a refrigerator, but you just need some more batteries.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. And the battery situation very often for some of these solutions can get to be kind of expensive up front.
Yes.
Okay. At that point, you're really looking at putting a system in your house that can carry the load, and a lot more convenience to you who are there. Okay. And the importance of why I'm saying this to you, and we're having this conversation, is that diabetes is a big enough issue. The use of insulin is a big enough issue that people need to be resourceful.
Yes.
So that even if you don't have a full-blown solar system, you could get a battery or two and a panel, because this panel they're all day taking the sun, charging back up the battery then, and a small fridge so that you could have some cold water and cool insulin.
Right, and as you said so about the panel, I found in passing on a website there was a turbine on a tripod that you could also buy.
A wind turbine.
Yeah, wind turbine. Yeah, and I keep looking for it to see if I can find it again, because I want to purchase it. It was only $100 or some.
Okay.
I would like to order it to add to my arsenal, so to speak. So at least I wouldn't have to worry about recharging the battery. I just connect it where it would run, keep the battery charged, and run my inverter.
Okay. Well, let me throw in something here really quick. You know, as we are here talking, okay? Because I want, and this is not to make your head get big or anything, okay? I want you to.
My head get big. You only got one size. You only got one size. You can't get it bigger than it is.
You sure now?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have to wonder.
As a matter of fact, I have to delete some of the files in the mental Rolodex because they're holding too much.
Okay. Well, we mentioned earlier that we have, well, you have 3 generators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know that generator is the kind of thing that from time to time, depending on how much you use them, you have to change oil.
Change the oil, yes.
You got to gas up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to fire it up.
Mm-hmm.
So who da do these things for you, man? I know you could see better than me, but I don't know that you have that kind of skill. So tell me, who da do this for you?
I do it myself.
You do it yourself?
Yes. I found on the cat generator, I was shown where the drain plug was. I know where the drain plug is, so I just put something to catch the oil, and I prop up the one end on a brick, and I let it drain out into this container.
So because you know how to maintain a generator and even start it up and run it and even do your own little inverter thing, you feel that I should give you my car keys?
Yeah.
Folks, on WSTX, only you heard it here first.
You ask the question, you want me to tell you no?
All right, okay. Anyhow,
I might drive safer than who driving on the road now.
my son, I have to give it to you, dear. I have to give it to you, dear. This morning, coming into the station, just to cross the street there from the bistro to come across the street to the station.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Gerard, I did it with my box accoutrements to come in the station, and I coming up the road, and this lady coming up, I think it looked like a Ford, a dark blue Ford CFG. Anyhow, my son, I could see it on her face. I dare you to cross in front of me. Gerard, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
Just so. And you know, people like to judge book by the cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I there here with my little thing them in my head and my hat on and maybe that I didn't look like them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you just step out there so I could run you over. You know? It was there on their face, my son.
Yeah.
Okay? And the joke of it is, you know, when you pass in front here, it got a big speed bump there, they got to go over anyhow. So they have to navigate that in terms of speed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was too much for them at that time to give the pedestrian the right of way. You know? And you know, and I'm going to mention this to the police department, you know. They need to just set up the road from some of these crosswalks. Okay?
Well, as I said so. The white SUV that like to park in front of the step by the handicap ramp on a Thursday morning, I have your picture on my phone. I just didn't get your license plate.
We got a call coming in.
Well, next time I'm going to get your license plate.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Good morning, WSTX.
Morning, WSTX. How may I help you?
Yes, good morning. This is Greg Guanel from UVI calling to be on the Kenton show to talk about the energy fair.
Okay, we got you. We got you.
Okay.
Okay, my handy dandy assistant there got to you before I did. And you're on line 0490. If the second person wants to call in, they can call in at on the 0390.
He's here on the conference call.
Oh, on the
So
conference.
we're here.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, I'm here in the studio, and I have a gentleman, Jared, with me, and we were just discussing resilience and self-help in the context of the of energy and not being in the capacity where we are waiting for somebody else to save us. Okay,
Okay,
so
very good.
we have
And
been.
we were on hold, so I don't know if that was on purpose.
Oh,
but
okay. No. That was that. No, we're ready. We're ready for you. Okay. So I already talked about the fact that the Caribbean Green Technology Center and the VI Energy Office, yes, together are having the second annual Energy Fair, October 28, 2023, and that school children are saying that Doug Canton is going to be there. Okay, so I want you gentlemen to go ahead and introduce yourselves, and let's talk about this, especially this theme of accelerating resilience in the Virgin Islands. We can't be here waiting for somebody to save us. Okay, it's all yours.
Yes. So good morning. My name again is Greg Guanel. I am the director for the Caribbean Green Technology Center at UVI and one of the co-organizers of the Energy Fair. And Michael?
Good morning. My name is Mike Jaffers. I'm the Deputy Director of the Virgin Islands Energy Office, working with Greg on the Energy Fair.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you both.
You as well.
All right. So tell us, what do you have in store for us here? I noted that it is in St. Thomas this year, but I have been encouraging everyone to get involved and participate. Are some of these roundtables and other discussions are going to be streamed by chance?
So we are working on that. We're working on live streaming some portion of the event. So the event really has two purposes. The first one is to discuss a little bit, how can we, community members, household, owners or managers, renters, what can we do to increase our own resilience? Because like you were saying, a few minutes ago, you can't wait for somebody else to help you. You have to help yourself. The government is, I think, doing a good job trying to provide services to all, but sometimes things don't go as planned, and you sort of have to figure out how to pick it up from there. So we will have the first part will be a discussion about this concept and hearing from different voices and options. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. And so that's going to be at the beginning of the fair on October 28th, and we will try to live stream these dialogues. The second part will be the fair itself, and it's going to be difficult to live stream it because it's just going to be about talking to people, spending the time, you as a visitor, as a guest, spending the time to talk to all the good people who will have, table and booth to provide you with information. So if you want to know more about, how can I get solar in my house, you can talk to different solar companies, you can talk to different, agencies, you can talk to, even us at the university to hear different perspectives, and then you can make your best decision. So that's difficult to telecast because, those are, the one-on-one, if you will.
Yes.
That's where being there is so important. And we're going to have it on St. Croix early next year. So in October, it's just going to be on St. Thomas. But the beginning, where we have the larger discussion, we are hoping to have it, a telecast on Facebook and YouTube for sure.
Okay. Well, let me share something with you if you didn't hear it while on hold. My co-host here, Jared, is visually impaired, and I had to break that down until he's blind. Okay, and we were talking about how he came to understand the simple thing of taking a battery and an inverter and having a backup through his vehicle with the inverter also, because he has to take insulin. And of course, one of the things with hurricanes, for instance, is very often, more likely than not, wapagan. Okay? in that situation, and how he was able to make a solution toward making sure that his insulin was preserved for him for his health purposes. And this is a kind of self-help, but there are other ways in which we can leverage that type of thinking toward taking steps individually and communally to make sure that in fact we will be able to save ourselves or otherwise provide for ourselves when navigating these types of challenges. But beyond that, to look toward more not just resilience but independence. Anyhow, I'll get off the soapbox. I just wanted to throw that out there, so we were having that discussion. So the show belongs to you.
I think that's a great point that you brought up there, and that resilience piece, because resilience is not only when we look at it as in the resilience of the tools and the items that we have to pull us through. It's a resilience of someone like Jared, which is you are resilient enough to be able to come up with that and find a solution in a scenario. And so when we're talking about the physical items that can be used, battery backups, inverters, and things of that nature, the education and the communication to the territory is kind of the key piece. So that's where this, as well as other outreach events that will be taking place, that's a large part of at least what the Energy Office is looking to push into the future, is explaining more about situations like Jared has, which is what can you do? What resources could we potentially provide? Because like you said, it's not always going to reach everybody. We have a limited amount of funds that are available, but we want to make sure that we can reach those that are in need. And so when we're looking at the resiliency piece, finding that there may be a battery backup or a small solar array that can go along with it, but explaining what, even if it's a low-cost solution, kind of explaining the ranges of options that are available to help offset those times. So I think that's a perfect example.
All right. Well, just not to blow his horn too much, but he's got 3 generators, and he has changed his own oil and gas them up and test them from time to time. So it have those of us that can see much better than him, and we don't quite do as well.
No, that's amazing. I'd love to give me a call sometime. I'd love to chat about that, and we can maybe collaborate on something.
All right, good thing. We'll connect, probably video conference, or if you're at the St. Croix office, in person sometime. That most definitely. Okay.
Yeah, if I can add to what Mike just said, I think one thing that we are, advocating, and I know we Virgin Islanders, we actually are pretty good at it compared to maybe other communities, is just to try to spend the time to understand, our house, understand, how the systems, how they work, really sort of spend the time on it. I think we all know, I know how it works, but just spend the time really understanding, okay, how much power does it need, and how often am I going to need it to run, and where is the hatch to the system, where is the overflow. Also understanding, you're talking about your friends, insulin, understanding, okay, what are our sort of medical needs? Do I need a big fridge? Can I use a small fridge? What are my economic abilities to do something or another? Am I constrained, or can I maybe purchase something else? And so when you do this sort of self-assessment and assessment of your house and assessment of your needs, you can then tailor a solution that is best for your needs. So I would say, first of all, congratulations to your friend who, while visually, impaired, is able to come up with, a lot of good solutions. And like Michael said, I'm really, curious to see all the tricks that he came up with. But in general, I would say, if you're asking the question in general, I would say, okay, can I get a smaller fridge that uses less electricity, and can I run it, with a solar panel, for example, or maybe a series of solar panels and some batteries. If you only need it during the day and you don't need it during the night, you know that your fridge can stay cold, for a certain amount of time. So maybe you don't need the electricity, all the time. And if you're thinking about, access to water, you can have the same discussion of do I need to have a generator to run the pump? or can I just get a small, pump that maybe uses just a few watts, and I can run it with a solar panel. That's, for example, what I did after the hurricanes, because I didn't have a generator, so that's on me. But I had a small little pump that was maybe 5 gallons a minute, but that was enough for me to do everything without, having recourse to buckets lifting out of cistern.
Yeah.
So it's really a question of taking the time to look at your needs, look at, your economic, sort of abilities to purchase what you need, and then, have the different solutions based on those different sort of criteria. And that's the type of discussion that we're really hoping to have, at the fair. It's nice to think, oh, I want, the best. But sometimes, the best is not possible, because the best costs a lot of money. But sometimes you don't need the best. Sometimes you just need something that just works for you. So it's really a two-way street. We offer solutions, but it's important for everyone to sort of understand themselves, understand their needs, to then pick, the right solution, based on their needs and their abilities.
Well, I think that you hit on a very important point, because a lot of folks think in terms of, let's say, solar energy type of solutions, that there's this mortgage that they have to take out to do it, or any type of solution, let's say, to a pump. They think in terms of the cost for a whole new pump system, separate this. No, it's about thinking different, looking at these things in a very creative way sometimes, because you can find a solar panel now for, let's say, $150 for something that'll give you 200 watts of, so it's very much within your range now. In that context, once that sun comes up and you've got that full power coming through, you're talking about the ability then, if you invest in a battery, to be able to have lights until people want to go to sleep, or definitely enough to have the smaller lights so that you can see to walk around in your house. And these are the things that I look forward to seeing and hearing at this the annual energy fair, because these are what people need to know about. These are the electronic age cold pots, so to speak, because people think, well, it's great to have a cold pot. You ain't got electricity and electric stove, or if the gas run out because we have a 3-month outage like we had with, God forbid, I don't want to go back there, but to make solutions that help us to maintain some modicum of quality of life existence during those type of challenges, that comes in very handy, right?
Yeah, no, very much so. So just sort of riffing off what you said in terms of, different solutions. So for example, what I've done in my house is, I invested in small, solar lights that I can hang on something. The solar panels are on the light, so I usually have them just hanging by the window, and then when WAPA goes out or there's an issue with power, I just take them, spread them around the house and push one button and I have my lights, right? And that's it. That was, I think the lights were just like $30 a pop, so yes, more expensive than a light bulb, but still, it's not a lot of money to make sure that I have light throughout my house with very little, a need for complicated system when power goes out. And so the other thing is, when you were talking about the pump, I think it goes back to what I was saying about really understanding the need. The need is to get water. You can get water through the pump that you have. You can get water through a bucket, or you can get water through a smaller pump. So as long as you sort of say, my need is to get water, then you can sort of open your mind to a variety of solutions and a variety of options, and pick the one that best fits your physical, financial, and technical ability. And there are actually a lot of options.
A lot of options.
Yeah, so like for example, another example is AC. I was saying, oh, I need AC in my house because it's very very hot and it's gonna get hotter next year from what I hear, and so I'm saying, well, can I get WAPA or can I get solar with AC? Turns out getting solar with AC is a lot of money. You're talking about $50,000 investment. I cannot personally afford that. But I know that WAPA is actually pretty reliable. And so I can just say, okay, I have my AC. I'm going to depend on WAPA. But if it goes out, I'm going to have fan. I know that usually WAPA goes out for a few hours. I don't, I can survive, But that's my personal choice, because another friend of mine said he wants AC all the time, no matter what. So he made, the investment. So there are solutions. You just have to sort of, what is your need? Is it cooling? Is it, water? What are your financial means? What are your personal choices? And there are a lot of solutions, but we need to have all the solutions, including the utility, as part of our decision making.
Right. Now, I also would interject that we have to be strategic and timely, because you can't wait for a calamity to happen to decide that you need to take these steps toward resiliency. And I say that it just happened. It was just fortuitous that it happened this way when Hurricane Irma hit St. Thomas. The folks in St. Croix were so concerned. We went to the stores, we bought out all the batteries and everything, sent everything to St. Thomas. And then came Maria. And you couldn't find batteries anywhere. And so a simple thing like having rechargeable AAA batteries and a little solar charger that you could put outside in the sun could mean that a device that would need those batteries, you would have them at your disposal. And sometimes it's the simple things, but the key is to be strategic also, to move in a timely manner, because when calamity comes, everybody wants the thing, the very same type of thing that you would want also, and it's not going to be in the store. Or when we have a hurricane here, you might have one the next week or the week before in Florida, where everything comes through shipping wise, and all of a sudden things that used to flow regularly aren't there. So definitely part of resilience is looking to the future and planning how you're going to get ready from today in that context.
And I was going to add in as well that we're speaking of resiliency not only on the calamity level or storm level, but also on the daily disruption.
Yes.
We know that we frequently will have outages. We'll frequently have scenarios where our service is interrupted. So having kind of when you're looking at resiliency from those two scopes, which is how can I keep this daily disruption from interrupting my life? A basic example would be, you're in the middle, or you're about to cook. Maybe you have an electric stove. You're about to cook dinner. Power goes out right at that moment, right? You're not able to do what you need to do in that time. Being able to have a home backup that's able to support basic functions that allow you to continue that kind of, or uninterrupted, that's part of the resiliency. But then also looking at what are the kind of larger solutions. To your point, if we have outages that extend weeks and months, and we want to know what is kind of the game plan on that front as well. So those are the types of discussions as well to kind of keep in mind, which is kind of to Greg's point, which was catering kind of what your capabilities are in those two types of scenarios and what you can do, and having a plan, ultimately figuring out what is that plan, what can I do in the case of a short-term outage, a long-term outage, what is my household plan that works with my lifestyle and what I'm doing to maintain that comfort level. So just another food for thought.
Definitely. And for the smaller businesses out there, and sometimes the one-person entrepreneur, and these days your computer is your business tool, your main business tool. There's nothing worse than being in the middle of a project and you have a desktop and it goes out. The UPS might keep you going for 15 minutes, but you need an hour or two to get your work done. So in that context, some of the backup power possibilities from do-it-yourself to commercial items are things, and there's just lots of stuff to see on YouTube about these things.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And
so.
if I may, just going back on that, right? Following on what you're saying, you know, and what you said earlier about resilience. I mean, a lot of resilience is, you know, anticipating, right? Once you kind of know your needs and you have a sense of, you know, what you can do, you can also anticipate, you know, to your point about the batteries and stuff like that. You can anticipate the future, but you also need to anticipate the future, you know, I would say you need to anticipate the future comprehensively. So, for example, my example, right? So, I have decided to go with solar and have a modern solar that will just do my pump, my fridge, and a few, you know, my modem because I need the internet, and that's it. The rest, you know, I will survive. But one thing I said is what I looked at my roof, and I said, I don't know if my roof is in the best shape. You know, let me have it fixed, or let me have somebody look at it. And turns out there were a lot of soft spots in my roof, you know, that got fixed, and then I repainted the roof as well, so that I have a nice fresh base for the new panel coming in. Because what would have happened otherwise, maybe perhaps, would be I have my nice panel come in, but my roof is not as tipped up, and so as a result, there's a hurricane and something like that, and my roof goes or the panel goes because my roof was not, you know, in the best shape. But what I'm, you know, with this example, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, we need to sort of anticipate, you know, to be resilient, we need to anticipate all the different sort of ways that, you know, the solution that we chose might go wrong, and sort of try to fix them as much as possible. Another friend of mine sort of spent the time to, you know, fix their electrical system because they realized that the wiring in the house was not done in the best way, and, you know, she would have had problems in the future if you know, they had installed, you know, a new big generator. And so when we're thinking about, you know, resilience, we need to think about anticipating, and we need to think about really understanding what is required for the solution we have to really work well. And sometimes that requires fixing what we have, which puts us in a better position no matter what, right? It's always good to have a solid roof. It's always good to have, you know, solid wiring in your house, etc., etc. So to your point about anticipating and thinking ahead, you know, there is a lot of that needs to happen before you go and purchase something.
All right. Well, I want to remind the listening public that we're here with the Caribbean Green Technology Center from UVI, and we've got the VI Energy Office, and they're both partnering in the second annual Energy Fair, which is scheduled for October 28, 2023, folks. It's going to be in St. Thomas this year, but you're going to see some crucians over there, okay? Plain and simple, because we need to be a part of the solution in that sense from every corner of the territory. And it's important that we participate in that sense. And stay tuned to hear about what roundtables they're going to have, discussions, so that those things, when they're streamed, that we as the community can tune in and see and otherwise hear the discussion. But if you got the opportunity to be in St. Thomas for October 28, 2023, well, mark your calendar and just know that you'll be able to go to the St. Thomas UVI Sports and Fitness Center and participate in the second annual Energy Fair. Even if your participation is just to walk around and learn and hear from the various vendors and professionals, as well as to hear from some of the lay people and their solutions in the process of making their existence here more resilient, whether it be because of hurricane or intermittent outages from time to time, or the water isn't being pumped for some reason and you had a fallback. Yes, folks, plan for it. That's where it really starts to plan, and then you can put things in motion to make it happen, so that when the time comes and you need it, you've got it. All right.
And just to be sure, the fair will happen on St. Croix in February. It's just a lot to have it back to back.
Yes.
So we're taking a break, and then we're going to move to St. Croix early 2024.
All right.
So,
well,
yes.
I have you guys scheduled to come back here in next month, just before the actual date of the fair, and I'm looking forward to that. And definitely, if you can share your email, I can definitely provide a video link, so that next time we can see faces and maybe even show a couple of things to the public in the process of the conversation. And I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, thank you so much for having us.
Okay, my pleasure. WSTX here in Christiansted. We're always open to you folks, whether in person or remotely, participating and educating the public. So keep us in mind when you got the word to get out. Definitely WSTX doors are wide open.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
You do the
All
same.
right. Take care. All right, folks. Only on WSTX. Yes. I mean, I would hope that they get the chance on other stations, but we're making sure that you get the word right here, because, you know, come June, you have hurricane season starting up. But regardless of when it's hurricane season, WAPA outage season is 366 days a year. Okay?
66,
and then
370.
Yeah, and then you have things like maybe a water pump give out, and it give out on a Saturday afternoon, right? So you all the plumbing places that stay open till noon on Saturday morning are closed, so you don't have some place to go and get a new pump and install. But if you have that backup pump for when WAPA go out, that you could use your solar panel or inverter battery to make it work. Wow. Hey, all of a sudden you got a way to make it through. But we got to start thinking about those things from now. And then we have to act on it, because a lot of these solutions are things that aren't high dollar type of things. Okay, we're at that time, Gerard. Okay, and I got to remind people that they got to do their random acts of kindness. Definitely.
Not just acts of kindness, random acts.
The random act of kindness. And if you're feeling bored, you know, do a whole bunch of premeditated ones too. The FBI and all them folks ain't coming after you for that. Okay. All right, good thing, folks. Until next time, make sure you share the love, because love's in need of love every day. All right. So, Jared, how we do today?
We do good.
I think we did good. I think we good too. Okay, especially talking about that inverter and battery. You know, you gotta break it down for people who out there thinking they gotta go out and spend $30,000 to put in some solar in their house so they could do this or that. You know, and sometimes we don't defeat ourselves by looking at it as, oh, it's gonna be so difficult or so expensive. And we got to make sure as much as possible that we step in there and
now that summer is over,
give these folks hope and opportunity. Okay? You know, what we're going to do is one of these days I'm going to have you do a demonstration
Obey all school zone speed limits
of
and crossing guards. Watch for
your
school
inverter
buses
battery
coming.
system.
Be on the lookout for children
Okay?
darting out into
We're
the street.
going to do
And remember, if you're
a
driving
demonstration
in
of
the
that.
morning
Morning.
or anywhere, make sure that
So that
everyone buckles out. It saves lives.
people could see firsthand.
Brought to you by
You know, they could say, well, if the blind man could do it, I could do it too. It'd be like a live demonstration. Okay? We do that and that with the fan. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even bring it in here to the station and hook up the fan, and they say, well, you know, it was so hot. We have to bring in our fan, and this is how we do it. Get these things out the way. So
What, the usual stuff? That's the usual stuff.
Customers and employees during this pandemic.
okay,
Our hours are 8 a.m. to 5
I was there Friday, Saturday.